Personally, I am a huge believer that how you grow up usually shapes who you become later in life. So I want us for you to take us through a little bit of your early childhood. Like, where did you grow up? How was the environment like? Who are you in terms of like personality? Were you talkative? Were you sort of an introvert? So what was going on there?
I was born in Sivo, Savan, Sivo. I don't know if you guys know Sivo. Just before Dandora. And then when I was 4, we moved just, I guess, up the road to Kariobangi South. It's a walking distance. And growing up there, honestly, I always say my childhood was one of my happiest times in life. It was so much joy. You know, as a child, you don't know whatever your environment is what you really thrive in. So as much as we may not have had everything in quotes, whatever everything is, I never saw it that way. So I grew up in a very loving home, a lot of community within in the environment that I grew up in the estate. Went to school in now to civil servants again. So I used to now walk from Kariobangi South back to where I used to live before I got 4 years old. Went to primary school, a school called Dayspring Junior, and high school. Now I was an how do I call it? I was an A student, for lack of a better word. Was really good in academics. Actually, I remember I was index 1 in primary school. And that now got me a call to Strathmore High School. So I went to Strathmore, even though my parents really could not afford the fees for the school. My dad really wanted what he knew. He thought that, and he believed that was what was best for me, is to go to Strathmore. Passed the interview. So Strathmore have this thing where you go they don't check your KCSE results. So you actually do an interview. It's like kind of like an IQ test in a way. And it was very interesting coming from the hood and going to a school uptown, that is Strathmore. So it was quite a culture shock, for lack of a better word. Seeing
The stories are different.
completely different. I think we're probably only 5 of us from the Eastlands area, and everyone else was from these other sides. So it was very interesting. Really grew a lot in high school as a person. And yeah, it was very interesting even how people looked at me back home, knowing that Strathmore was that kind of school. And, you know, they're like, hey, one of us is going to Strathmore. That's very interesting. And I grew up loving, doing a lot of music also, before it was scrapped off the syllabus. But I grew up really loving music. It was my favorite subject, actually. Loved playing a lot of sports, basketball, football in the estate. I used to also draw and paint a lot at home. And all this, of course, is without social media. So, so there's a lot of time to do so many things and just be innovative and creative and just let your young mind, just wander and go wild and just do as much as you possibly can think of. So I'm really grateful for that. I really, really love. Once in a while, I even drive that side because none of my friends are still there. My whole family is out of there. But I usually just go for a drive secretly, and just go. I just absorb the whole feeling of having grown up there and that place having shaped me, the person that I am today. So I'm really thankful and grateful for my upbringing.
You quite literally say like you're an A student. So, and you back that up with your KCSE results. You actually got is it an A minor?
A minus, yeah. I think it was 3 points short of A, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, very impressive. That's like top less than 1%. I think the results they just released for last year, it's like less than 1% have A and A minuses. So you are like the top.
Yeah, but does it really matter really at the end of the day? I don't know. That's a question we all.
That's interesting to see like the guys who got A's, where are they now? That would be a good documentary to follow up.
Yeah, because when you're that age and you're in that time in your life, it feels like everything revolves around that. It's like it's almost the end of the world or the beginning of something great. You look at your other friends like, oh, you got an A, I got a C, and you feel like the world is ending. And now when you look back, you're like, was it really that serious? Yeah. It doesn't matter that much eventually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's also interesting to know like music was part of who you are at that very early age. Yeah. So it sort of validates my theory as well. Like how you grew up, sort of.
Shapes who you. Oh yeah, 100%. And even with music, aside from it being my favorite subject, I grew up in a it's not even a musical home, but a music loving home. So my dad was a really ardent music lover and used to collect a lot of music from all Lingala stuff, a lot of Ohangla music. I just grew up and even on TV, whether there were award shows, those days, Cora Awards, we used to sit down as a family and just wait until, I remember it was like 11 p.m. or midnight. It used to go till 1. And those were things that my dad let me watch. That and sports, like he was always, even if I have school tomorrow, he would be like, yeah, because he also loved it. And he saw how much I also had a lot of interest in those two things in particular. He would once now just let me go on until 2 a.m. just to watch a music concert. Even Lucky Dube concerts used to come a lot on TV, I remember, in the middle of the night. So that really shaped who I am musically as well.